Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Happy New Year's, have Merry Christmas. It's to anybody who celebrates those holidays. Today, let's just do a get ready with me, starting from actual skincare, using some of the newer products or tools that I got recently. So let's see how those works. I have toned my face, and now is the moisturizer part, which I'm going to use my Tatcha water cream. Still so cute, and I've been using this since the 1st of January, and it's the 4th day, and I haven't gotten any reaction or breakout from it, so I am super happy, because I know that from based on the reviews, a lot of people have like rash and breakouts and everything like that, and I was really nervous because I have really sensitive skin, but apparently this is fine with my skin, so I'm happy. We're also going to use this new Aero Spa face tools by Spa Science, and I got this from the Skin Store Holiday Edit box. Okay, I thought this would be like, a more expensive tools, because facial tools usually are more expensive. But I've researched this on Google, and currently Target shows that they do sell this same set, this and the little and the full size the full size cream, and it only retails for $30. Well, actually $29 for this. I thought it would be more. I mean, even I don't know, any other facial tools I've gotten are expensive, or maybe because I was hoping it would be more expensive because the value of the box was 500 and something. Anyways, this is $30, so I have used this, I think, every day. Like at first I only started for a little bit, and then I gradually go longer and longer, and yeah, it does kind of heats up and helps you moisturizer. So let's go do that. So what I usually do is I just get a little bit and put it on directly on this, just at first, because that is how you're supposed to use this. You're supposed to use the cream. You're supposed to directly apply the cream or moisturizer, whatever you're using on your face, directly on this, and then as you pat it into your face, this machine turns on itself. So there is no on off buttons on this except for the rechargeable part. So it automatically goes on as soon as it gets in contact with some sort of pressure. So yeah, and the vibration, see, you can hear the vibration. I like to go upwards because the lymphatic system is vibrating as it pats. It vibrates as it's pushing the ingredients, it says. That's what it's doing. I don't know if you can hear the vibrating. I mean, for $30, it would just be good, like, me time. You know what I mean? Okay, let's move on. So we have our skin. I'm gonna put some of my Drunk Elephant. I'm putting on some Drunk Elephant vitamin C. Cream or serum. And then give myself also a mini massage at the same time. Whew. There you go. Now let's apply our sunscreen. This is a Tower 28 Sunny Days, and it's in the color 20 Mulholland, which again, I'm still surprised I'm only like the second color up from the range, but you know, apparently this fits me. I was thinking I would be more of like medium skin tone. I'm probably gonna go 2 layers with this, using my favorite Hourglass concealer brush. Favorite. I have really been thinking about getting a second one of this, as well as investing in more Hourglass brushes, like the foundation brush as well. It's so dense but soft. So good. And it fits my crevices really well around my skin. I'm going in with a second layer because why not? And I take that and I put it on my eyes just as a base if we decide to do some eye shadow. I really love this brush. I mean, so good. It's so soft, but yet dense at the same time, and it fits so well. I really hope that they come out with like a smaller for the eyes, like, you know, up top here, and that way we can use it even in here if it comes with a smaller brush. But yes, love this Hourglass. Actually, I'm really into Hourglass as of late. So just a bit of setting powder. Set everywhere, including my eyelids. Now we have the Jellyfish palette, but in the owl packaging. I just want to use some of the powders just to give myself more of a satin look. Do we want to do bronzer today? This is the BK Beauty 101 foundation brush, but I really like to use this for blush and for bronzer because it's so nice and big. It will give more of a diffuse look. So I'm just gonna get some bronzer. And then off to town we go. And because this is a lighter palette, I don't have to be really worried about, you know, it looking too much or too deep. Oh, speaking of which, I have the new Chanel Winter Glow in the color Rose Polaire. And these are the ingredients if you're interested in knowing. So this has 11 grams of powder, and the box does say exclusive creation, so it's limited edition, 18 months. And here we have the new Chanel blush. If you hear any hammering in the background, it's because my neighborhood is still developing, so there are constructions going on here. So I just changed the view. Hopefully, you get a better view because of the sunlight here before we do our blush. It's so beautiful. And there are 3 shades of this. There's a mauve one, and there's a coral one, and this is the pink one. And from what I've seen and heard, this is the lightest of them all. There's I'm not very into coral blushes, so I never consider coral blushes. And then the mauve is kind of okay too, but I really wanted something pink. For me, I used to live in the cold weather, and when I do get in the cold and in the winter kind of look, I think that the pink looks better for me. So that's why I got the pink. And these retails for $72. It's available on the Chanel website. So I know that this is like very hard pan press, and it's also very light as well. So I want to try this on like one side with, it's one side with a synthetic brush, and the other side I will use a natural brush just to see what it's like. Oh, I also forgot to mention this blush does come with its own brush, and it's a half moon, and it feels really thick, but also very movable too. So I'm going to use one side with the synthetic brush, and the other side I'm going to use the Takamori. This is a foundation brush, and it's natural goat hair, but it picks up pretty well, and because it's a foundation brush, I feel like it will pick up more press hard powders better. So that's what I'm going to use on my right side, and then on the left side we're going to use this. So here we go. This is the first time using it. It is hard, and I'm, dapping, but I love pink blushes. And as you can see, yes, it is very natural. Let's get some more. There you go. Now there's color buildup. It's very beautiful, very light, but the color is there. It's not that it's not pigmented, and it gives you a nice glow. I knew this color would look good. I knew I'd like it. I'm so excited now. Okay, let's try the natural hair on the other side. I would say this picks up the same amount. This brush picks up the same amount as the Chanel's synthetic included brush in this blush. I don't know what is it, but like as soon as blush goes on my cheeks, I just can't stop playing with it. So even the Chanel blush has a little bit more. So just gonna even things out. I think this gives you a very beautiful flush everyday kind of makeup, no makeup look. A little bit more makeup. But I think it's really beautiful. There is no shimmer in this, but it's not a matte look. As you can see, there's like, you know, a shine, a satin look to it without highlighters or anything. I think it's beautiful. So there you have the Chanel blush in Rose Polaire. I can do some comparison. So here are the swatches in the sunlight. The top one by my hand here is the new Chanel Rose Polaire. The second one is Fantasy de Chanel. The third one is the Jellyfish palette. And then the last two is the two blushes from the Leopard palette, which is more corally than pink. This is the Rose Polaire, and this is the, what is this? The Fantasy de Chanel blush that came out for the spring. This is definitely not as glowy as this, so let's swatch this. So this is the new Chanel Rose Polaire blush. So I have to go in with 2 coats on that one. So that's what it looks like. It is very light and it is very hard pan. What is this one? And let's do a swatch with the Fantasy de Chanel. I use this blush a lot, as you can tell. She is well loved because it gives such a glow to it because of the sparkliness. So that's the Fantasy de Chanel. It's lighter, but it also has some sparkles in it. Let's do this Jellyfish pink one to see how it compares. So this is the pink blush in the Jellyfish palette. The pink one from the Jellyfish palette is very similar to the Fantasy de Chanel. No, that's too coral. I know this is such an awkward placement on my hand here, but this first one is the new Chanel Rose Polaire. Rose Polaire. Now the second shade right here is this one, the Fantasy de Chanel. And then the third color right here is this pink one from the Jellyfish palette, the one right here. That's number 3. They look very similar to the Fantasy de Chanel actually, with less shimmer in them. And the last 2 shades are from this Leopard palette. This one is the matte color one right here. That's the second last one right here. And the last one right here is this shade over here. It runs more coral than pink with shimmer in them. So the one on this palette doesn't look the same as the Rose Polaire. I feel like the Rose Polaire is pink but with coral undertone. I feel like the one from the Jellyfish palette is very, very close to it with more shimmer and glimmer in them than the Chanel one is more matte. So there's the blush. Now I didn't get the eyeshadow palette because it looks really cool, and I don't really like cool. I like more of the warm tone. So I'm gonna use my other Chanel Le Beige palette in the color Warm. It looks like this. But I actually won't be putting a lot of eye makeup on either because I really don't need it, but I thought just to even out the whole face, I put something on. So I usually start with this color as my all over base. I do love the Chanel Le Beige line. It's just, you know, such a toned down, sophisticated, classy look. I love it. But I don't know, that new palette, the cool one, just too cool for me. And I love warm colors. And then I'm just gonna go in with this more shiny one and just put it all over my lid. And then I'm just gonna get a pencil brush. This is a Sonia G. And I'm just gonna go in with this dark, well, the darkest brown in the shade, the darkest brown in the palette, and just give some definition to the edges. I love this palette. This palette's definitely an everyday palette for me. I love the colors of this palette. I'm just gonna go a little bit more underneath just to balance out. I just do very minimal, like what was that, 3 colors, a base, and then and all over, and then just a dark outside in brown. That's pretty much all I do. Now I'm just gonna put on some eyeliner and mascara, and I'll be right back. So I am back, finished putting on my some eyeliners and mascara. I love the Hourglass Unlock mascara, and this is the travel size. But this is so good as a tubing mascara. So good. Now I realized that I haven't even put on highlighter. This new Chanel blush really is a glow within natural, what you would get from a going out in the cold. My Leopard palette, the highlighter one, I just love the gold highlighter. Bring some warmth to the skin from being in the cold, shall we say? I just love gold highlighter. And then for lips, I'm gonna use the Chanel Le Beige lip balm in the color medium as well. So there you go. I just went skiing and it's cold, and this is the flush minus mascara and eyeliner, but this is the flush. So this is my makeup for the day. I hope you've enjoyed this video and seen a new Chanel blush on somebody who is my skin tone. I know there has been reviews of the new blush on YouTube, but everybody is sort of like really light skin tone. Nobody is medium that I have seen. So I really was excited to see what this new blush is gonna look like on me, and being the lightest of them all, I still really like it. I like it so much that I don't think I'm gonna buy the other 2 colors, just because, like I said, I love pink blushes. Yeah, I love the pink. I love this pink blush. Very beautiful, very, again, natural. very much Chanel the beige line. So I hope it was a fun video. Get ready with me, and until the next video, bye everyone.